What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Testing. We gotta just do a mic test every single time. Meg?
Mic test 1 2 1 2.
I keep telling Megan she's talking too low. Sometimes you can't hear.
Sorry.
Alright, welcome in to the Brooks Bench Fantasy Live segment. We go live every Monday and Thursday going over women's fantasy basketball advice. A lot of the questions we go over our users send in, and then we are able to answer them. But today it's more of Q&A. Not a lot has happened. Not a lot of crazy injuries have happened. There are a few that we're going to be talking about that are going to impact you fantasy-wise. But other than that, not a lot. So, there was a trade. There was a trade that went down. Megan, I don't know if you saw this one, because it was a YouTube subscriber that sent in the trade. So, they traded Azurá Stevens and Natasha Cloud for Jonquel Jones. How do you feel about that? I don't know.
I feel like Cloud and the Cloud side won. I mean, because that's two players that's right now putting up really good fantasy numbers. So,
but I mean, long term though, I'm thinking this is a long term move. Capitalize on how well Azurá and Natasha Cloud are doing now, but can they keep it up the whole season? Where we've known Jonquel to keep it pretty consistent the entire season.
I think for LA, Stevens needs to. I think we saw that a lot last night. She's hitting, they're in the game. So I think so. I think the teams need them to be consistent.
True.
So I think there's a chance for that to happen.
Okay. I mean, would you rate this more of a fair trade, lopsided? How are you feeling about the trade?
I think it's fair because Jonquel, I mean, I hope the Jonquel side, didn't lose too much in the guard position. But Jonquel is still putting up really good numbers and is usually pretty consistent. So I think it's fair.
Yeah. I would agree with you. As long as he had replacement guards, I really think it's a fair trade. I mean, I think the right move was capitalizing on how well they're doing. Because we all know Jonquel is pretty consistent and is going to have a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. It's a good trade. I wish I knew both the lineups and why they were trading each one. So next time if you send in a trade, let me know the whole lineups. Okay, let's just go into the injury report. Anissa Morrow out at least another week. Sophie Cunningham played today. I was gonna say day to day, but she did play today. Rakia Jackson still in concussion protocol, so she's still gonna be out for Friday. Jordan Canada, basically it was stated she's going to make a full recovery, should resume activities soon. Shakira Austin's now in concussion protocol, so she's out. A new one that popped up on the injury report, Monique Billings. She's now questionable foot injury. Tiffany Hayes' nose is obviously out. Did you see her TikTok?
No.
She posted a TikTok of her nose, and I don't know if it's broken, but there was a gash on the top of her nose. We were speculating that she broke it and it was blood coming out of her nose, but it's like a gash on top, so on her face. So I don't know if that's anything different or not, but something to monitor. And then who else did I miss? I already talked about Rakia, and then Sophie's back. I don't think I saw any other injury updates for fantasy relevant players anyways. Did you see anything? Okay. So we're going to go over waiver wire pickups. I want to talk about the people that we had a watch list. I want to update that. So the people we had on watch list were Catherine Westbelt, Alexa Heald, Bria Hartley, and Kyla Charles. We put them on watch list because we wanted to see what they did in their second game. Catherine Westbelt is consistent. 19 fantasy points in back-to-back games. I feel like you can trust her. Obviously, her minutes fluctuated, right? Because you had mentioned, you were like, where's Catherine Westbelt? She was gone for a chunk period of time in last night's game. But I would still rock with her. Alexa Hill, on the other hand, she was fighting for playing time with, what's her name, Laska?
Yeah. Yep.
So I don't think, sure, streamer, go ahead if you really, really need it. But I would temper expectations with that one. And then Bria Hartley had another solid performance, 17 fantasy points. You can trust her there. And then Kyla Charles, don't fall for that anymore. They do not mess with her. That one game she played, some solid minutes, got up some solid fantasy points, and then these last 2 games has not looked pretty. So that one was probably the most flukiest first performance that we saw this week. I also want to put on... I kind of did this a part on my own, so Meg, chime in if any other players you've thought of that we haven't talked about come to mind. But new players on our radar. Valkyrie's got back. Janelle, how do you say it, Meg? Salian?
Sure.
Sorry. But she looked good. 17 fantasy points, 28 minutes. She got a lot of playing time. And she just looks like a versatile big for the Valkyrie. We all know the Valkyrie, it's going to be a long season. They did get their first win. Love to see it. But what are you thinking about Janelle? Like, we can trust her? Like, this is a good pickup?
I think so. I think just give her some time to really gel. I love the way she came out and she was aggressive right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
She was trying to be a scoring threat for them. I think that especially now, we should look to pick her up. I know I'm trying to pick her up in some leagues. Tiffany Hayes is going to be dealing with the nose. I heard Billings also twisted her ankle.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no update on whether if that'll affect her and cause her to be out. But with that being the case, I mean, with her being aggressive, I think you should pick her up because she'll have the opportunity to score. They're going to need her to score. So
yeah. So with the Tiffany Hayes news, are you upgrading Veronica Burton? Is she a trustworthy waiver wire pickup now? Or are you still tempering expectations?
I would be hesitant. I mean, Veronica Burton, the thing with her, she doesn't look to shoot the shot. She doesn't look to score as often as you would want her to. And obviously, like, there's potential for her to get hot like she did.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope she turns into more of a, like, let me try to score personality rather than that pass first guard that she's kind of always been.
Well, she showed it last night.
I know.
So do you believe in that? Or
I don't believe that she'll be able to keep it up.
That's
want
great.
her
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
As a fan, as this being my team, I would love for her to. But I also don't like that it comes at Vanloo's.
Don't even get me started with that. It's hard because Veronica Burton hit like career highs, in points and rebounds. Yeah. So it's like, do you trust that? Obviously, playing time is going to probably be more consistent with Tiffany Hayes out and them just not liking Vanloo at all. That's just crazy, but it is what it is. So we have to move on and kind of figure out what to do with Burton. I would say you could pick her up because of the opportunity she's going to have, but I would temper expectation. Like, right? Because she's obviously probably not going to score another 43-point fantasy game, right? But waiver wires in some of our leagues are super thin. And when there's that one game day where it's only 2 teams playing, hey, I would pick up Veronica Burton. I mean, would that be your take on that?
She had 43 fantasy points. I guess I didn't even realize that she killed that many.
Yeah. She had 43 fantasy points.
Wow.
So, what are you thinking about her now? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of have to, with Tiffany being out, Billings possibly being out, I think you try to ride that. Dang, she had that.
And she was on the waiver wire. No one played Veronica Burton. No one touched Veronica Burton on the waiver wire. I think with the circumstances, you have to pick her up.
Yeah.
Last one I want to put on, everyone already knows this, but it's Sanaya Rivers. I feel like no one drafted her really because, she was out for personal issues. And now we saw her performance against the Aces and everyone's like, oh yeah, like she looks pro ready. Is there any hesitation? Megan, what are you doing? As I'm trying to educate everyone, Megan's making moves in our family league and picked up Veronica Burton. I haven't even looked at my lineup yet. See, this is some scandalous stuff right here. Live. That's scandalous. I'm also gonna lose, so hold on. You need to. You're throwing me off track. Can you don't pick up Sanaya Rivers now? Leave me a player.
I'm not gonna pick up.
Bro, see what I'm talking about? Okay, so back to Sanaya Rivers. She had a great game.
Yes.
You see, I get my notifications on my phone sitting right in front of me, Megan. So, is Sanaya Rivers worth a waiver wire pickup?
Yeah, if you need a guard, yeah. I think it's matchup too, though. And Connecticut plays Minnesota. So that's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah.
So
no?
I would be hesitant, but because
she did well against the Aces.
I know. But they also were going into their bench, so she was getting those minutes, I think, regardless.
Okay.
But I'd be hesitant. But if you need a player and you have space to pick up a player, I would by all means go ahead.
I think she's a spark. I like her because she can play both ends of the floor, and steals are 2 points, blocks 2 points.
Yeah.
High category stuff is on the defensive end, so I'm just like, I think she's worth it. Obviously, there's going to be bumps in the road because she's a rookie, feeling it out, got to play these teams for the first time. But I think towards the end of the season, she can be a solid pickup, especially with Mabry struggling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they need more from their guards, Connecticut, because their bigs are handling business right now. I did want to go into a new segment, Megan.
Okay.
The new segment is it time to worry? And I'm gonna give you players that I've seen a lot of worry about in our Discord and just in general.
Okay.
First player, Shakira Austin.
Yes. Worry, run, escape.
Is it a trade or is it a drop to the wire? Like, move on, it's over.
I say move on, it's over, honestly.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think of last year how she was on IR and she took forever to get off IR and then she finally got off IR and then she got hurt again.
I know.
I don't want to put our fans, our followers in that same predicament. Mm-hmm. Just give up now. Run.
I gotta give it to you too. Concussion. Okay. Ejected. Okay, first, she was out the first game injury, then got ejected. Now is in concussion protocol. It's time to drop and move on. If she becomes healthy later in the season and turns things around, sure, but Aaliyah Edwards is coming back. I really think she's going to up her minutes. I think it's a wrap, guys. I think we have to leave Shakira Austin. We know the potential. It just hasn't panned out the last 2 years. So, I think it's a wrap. I agree with you, Meg. This is a good one. Dejanay Carrington. How are you feeling? Is it time to worry on Dejanay?
No. I think Dejanay will bounce back. I think Dejanay, she'll be fine.
Okay, because I watched Dallas, and I just feel like it's Arike, Paige, and it's just them. Mm-hmm. And, like, Nalissa, or Hines Allen, too, is in there. And, like, Nalissa and Dejanay are kind of on the back burner a little bit, which worries me, which I kind of put her in this category. But, I mean, it's not... Are you trying to get rid of her, like, trade her? Because you're not dropping her on the wire. But are you trying to trade her?
Yeah, I think if you can, yeah, I would.
Or you would rather just keep her?
I would keep her or trade her.
Okay.
I wouldn't run away from her and drop her.
Okay, but I'm saying, are you worried so you're trying to sell her now while she's still kind of steadily performing? Like for future?
Yes, depending on who you get, yes, I would.
I think I would try and package her and try and get a big dog.
A big dog.
I would try and package her and get a good something good before it's too late. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a good one. Tierra McCowan. This one's hard. Okay, she went 3 fantasy points, 28 fantasy points, 5 fantasy points.
I'm run. Let it go.
Oh wow, like drop or trade?
Drop or trade? Yes. One or the other.
No, you have to pick one.
I mean, obviously, with anything, I would try to trade.
Yeah.
With anybody.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't, if no one's biting, drop.
Okay. It's always safe to try and trade first.
Yeah, for anything. But I would say she's one that if I'm running that team, I'm waiver wiring her.
Yeah.
Like, she's going to be up and off my team, on and off my team.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. Hines Allen has, I think, secured that starting spot. She's a spark. She's more mobile, more of a fast-paced big. I'd be out on McCowan. Okay, this is another one. Marina Mabry. Obviously, you're not dropping Marina Mabry, but are you concerned? Is it time to worry?
I would not be concerned. I would hold on to Mabry. I think she just had a bad shooting night, guys.
Megan, she's had a bad shooting night every game so far.
But the thing with her, though, is that she gets so many attempts. Like, she's able to shoot the green light. Like,
yeah, I get you.
I just feel like, how do you let something go like that where she literally has the green light to get that many attempts? And imagine when she hits. That's a lot of fantasy points. I know that's hard because it's not consistent.
Yeah.
So I would say trade if you have to. But if you're leading your week, hold on to her.
Long term, you think she'll bounce back? Like, she'll be fine?
I do. I think she'll get in a rhythm.
I'm curious to see how it pans out. I really know we were high on Marina Mabrey. I was also high on Tina Charles, but I feel like Tina Charles is dominating right now. They don't really... I mean, they lost, but... Because Mabrey can't hit her shots, Megan. But I agree. Don't drop her to the wire, obviously. But I think someone asked a Mabrey question later. I think I would try and explore a trade. Try and get something a little bit better. What about Dewana Bonner? Hasn't been a good couple games.
Listen, I told you guys. I told you she's going to
take
that
We all told
role.
her. We all said it. We all said it.
You know, yeah.
What kind of... Okay, Megan's still making moves on her phone. That's why she's not paying attention, because I just got another notification. This is getting crazy. Megan.
I didn't do anything else.
I saw it right here.
Not in the family league.
Yeah, but still, I seen it. So Dewana Bonner, you're out. Like, are you dropping her to the wire? Like, it's that serious?
I wouldn't mind dropping her. And that's partly why I didn't even waste trying to draft her in the tier that she was in.
Yeah.
Because I had a feeling that she was gonna take more of a vet role and not put up numbers like she did with Connecticut. So I knew that there was going to be inconsistency. She's on a team where there's other big scorers. Mm-hmm. I mean, today Natasha Howard's popping off.
I know.
I don't even think Aaliyah Boston's doing anything right now.
No, she's in foul trouble.
Okay, Dewana to me is, maybe you can try to trade her, but
I don't think you can.
To me, it's a waiver wire thing.
And you know what? With the Fever, it's like I gotta call them the Big Four, and we gotta exclude Bonner. But the Big Four, they're always gonna fluctuate with who's gonna have a better night. Mm-hmm. But Dewana, the last couple games, hasn't even has she even scored 10 points? Not fantasy points, just regular points. Yeah, she's averaging 3.5 points right now.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's a wrap. I think you guys, if you're in a pinch and you don't want to drop anyone else, I would agree with Meg. I think it's time to move on from Bonner. Mm-hmm. It's just not working out fantasy wise. Okay, Meg, what about JC Sheldon? Sinai Rivers coming into the fold. Sheldon gets the minutes, but I don't think she looks for a shot a lot. And I think that's what's holding her back.
She's good defensively, but I think it's a waiver wire.
Yeah. I was trying to hold on to her for a little bit to see if she would pop out. Mm-hmm. I'm worried with Sinai Rivers that Sinai's going to be looking for a shot more. JC's just on the floor for defensive stuff. I mean, we all know what J.C. Sheldon can do offensively, but it's just system. Tina Charles, baby. Yeah. Just going off. I think I have to agree with you. I know there's some J.C. Sheldon fans out there. Maybe try and trade them to them. Package. I just always love a package deal. It makes everything more enticing. Mm-hmm. One-on-one, it's like, But package something, you'll be surprised what you can get. Okay, last one before we go into Q&A. Julie Vanloo.
I'm not concerned.
Shut up, Megan. That's crazy.
Well, partly because of the Tiffany being out. I don't see how
they didn't even put her in. They didn't even put her in when she was out.
That I don't know. That drives me crazy, guys. I was yelling at the TV. And don't get me wrong. Julie Vanloo, yeah, she does take some bad shots too, but that whole team takes bad shots. Mm-hmm. I'd rather Julie Vanloo taking the bad shots, because at least when she's out there, her passes and her just moving the ball and driving and making things happen, to me, happens more when she's on the floor than when she's not. Mm-hmm. They get stagnant a lot, and it's just I love the way Julie moves the ball and handles the basketball.
I agree.
But she did come in, and her first shot, she jacked it up there and airballed. Brooke missed it.
I did.
But I'll still take that. So, and I don't know. I can't believe that they're not going to play her again in the next game. So, they go another game not playing her, then I would say, yeah, let her go. But
okay, this is someone in the chat. Mr. Johnny said, would you drop Vanloo for Sinai Rivers?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think right now, Vanloo's not like one of those players that is undroppable on your lineup, though.
Okay.
I don't think she's one of those players. She's going to be a waiver wire pick up, drop. Hopefully you have good waiver wire ranking to be able to grab her when you need her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you have it. There's your line. You would rather have Sanaya Rivers or Julie Vanloo, but you're not worried long or short term. It's probably short term you're not worried.
I think Julie's going to... She's going to bounce back. She's going to make it where that coach has to play her.
I'll believe it when I see it.
We got to get rid of the coach.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Send her back to Vegas.
Oh, my God. All right, let's go into the Q&A. So, the questions from the Discord. Meg, is it time to drop McBride?
I'm a McBride owner, guys. I can't do it. I hope you guys are in leagues where you have an IR spot that you're able to place her, and it's not affecting anything else for you guys, but... I just cannot drop her. I think that when she does come back, she's too valuable as a fantasy player that it's too early for me.
Yeah.
Especially in some of the leagues where I'm in it still and I'm,
Yeah.
I know in the champs leagues you guys are kicking me.
Oh my God, I'm getting killed too.
But yeah, the KB is KB in this chat? Take it easy. You want to put some people on the bench for a little bit? Let me catch up just a little bit. Make it fun. I don't even have a chance this week, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say if McBride isn't affecting you and you're able to hold her on your IR, I would continue to do so. It's still early in the season.
I agree. And it's like, who are you wanting to replace her in the IR spot? Like, is it really someone like worth dropping McBride for? I mean, we mentioned it, on a couple videos ago that Minnesota really needs that 3-point shooter. Once McBride's back, I mean, depending on what she's dealing with, we're not too sure. I would keep her if your IR lets it.
I'm looking at the injuries right now, right? Brooke just went over those injuries for you guys. When you look at that list, right, you got Rakia, you got Tiffany Hayes, Sophie Cunningham, we already know is back. So those are the only two people that are even close to what
Rakia and who?
And Tiffany Hayes are even close to what McBride puts up for fantasy. So I can't imagine that you have somebody that's hurt right now that deserves the IR spot over McBride.
Okay, those are good examples though, because I would agree with you. I would, if I had Rakia Jackson, I'm not dropping Rakia Jackson, and if I really needed someone, I mean, let's be real.
They're
though.
The only ones that if you had both them and McBride, I can see you questioning. But if they're not Tiffany Hayes or Rakia Jackson, no. And I know Jordan Canada's hurt, but honestly, if you had McBride, I personally would keep McBride over Jordan.
I will say this though, it is week 1. You can lose this game.
Yeah.
This one ain't gonna kill you. Maybe if this was week 7 and you were on the playoff bubble, then it's like, all right, we gotta cut ties. But just know, once McBride hits that waiver wire, whoever's first priority is picking McBride up. So I mean, I would just say that. Man, you guys are making a lot of moves. I should have made my moves before I hopped on live. This is killing me.
Oh, that's a good one. Aaliyah Edwards.
Wait, where we
That's
at?
one to consider holding as well. I didn't mention her.
Oh yeah, I would keep.
I saw someone say Aaliyah Edwards. That's a good one.
If you were in that situation where you had to hold either Caleb McBride or Aaliyah Edwards, who would you hold?
I think that comes down to preference. I'm high on McBride. I'm a big McBride fan.
That's a hard question.
So I feel like I would lean McBride, but I would not say anything bad if you went Aaliyah Edwards because I think that's fair.
At least Aaliyah Edwards has a timeline.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Caleb McBride, we don't know the timeline.
Going on.
Yeah. Okay, we already talked about Vanloo. Who are good trade requests for Mabry? Like, you want to get rid of Mabry? Like, try and get something for Mabry? I would... Who's doing bad right now that we really like? Depends if you want a guard or a big. Would you agree? Or would we just go guard for guard? Like a guard to target?
I would say guard. Let's see.
Let's just do guard for guard. Because not a lot of people are going to give up their bigs.
Let me look at Marina's numbers. Okay. 21 and 11. All right, here, give me some time and go to the next question.
Okay, Megan's going to research it and get back to you guys on that one. If I have to keep 3 out of Sanaya, Salute, Shepard, Thornton, who would you get? I would keep... Oh my god, this is so hard. I really wish I knew your lineup because I really like Shepard. I'm really high on Shepard right now. Oh my god. Salute is not really having that good of a day either. Oh no, she is. She bounced back today. Good for her. I would keep Salute, Shepard, and it really comes down to Sanaya or Thornton for me. I feel like the potential of Sanaya could outscore Thornton long term. But Thornton's probably going to get more playing time, especially with their injuries. So I think that question would come down to how's your depth with your guards versus your bigs, in my opinion. Would you agree?
Sorry, I'm doing my homework.
Okay, pause. Just 1 second.
Uh-huh.
If you had to, you can only keep 3 of these people. Okay. Sanaya, Vandersloot, Shepard, or Thornton. Who would you keep?
Sanaya, Vandersloot, Shepard, Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm keeping Shepard. I feel like she's been playing really well.
I agree.
And I can keep how many?
3.
Oh, I'm keeping Shepard. I'm dropping Thornton.
You know what? I said it came between Sanaya and Thornton. I said it comes down to where's your depth at. And I said Sanaya could outscore Thornton in the long run.
Yeah.
But Thornton will have more minutes. Okay. Meg says Thornton. Is Burton only worth a waiver wire pickup, not long term, especially when McBride comes back?
Yeah, you got to see consistency first.
Yes.
Before you're holding on to her.
Agreed. MK has some suggestions for you for Marina Mabry. Ariel Atkins or Chelsea Gray.
Chelsea Gray is a little expensive.
Yeah, I would say
Ariel Atkins is a very good one.
I don't believe in Atkins as much though. I think I'd rather have Mabry. But that's a
preference. They're pretty equal though.
Exactly.
Carrington would be another one.
That's a preference. These are all gonna be preference.
Yeah, I mean, but they're all around the same. I and the way I look at it is like, I'm looking for fairness.
I get
right?
you. How's Kelsey Mitchell been doing? She's been solid.
22, 30, 18. But they're still playing right now. She has 18 right now. They're in the 4th though with 2 minutes left.
Mabry's gonna be hard because you have to sell on the potential of what she could do, in my opinion. But I agree with you. I think Ariel Atkins is the best comp. But then it's like, do you believe in Ariel Atkins in Chicago?
Maybe even Tiffany Hayes.
While she's hurt, but I think I would just ride with Mabry. And with all these trade suggestions for these players, I think I would just rock with Mabry. Would you agree on that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there anyone... Obviously, there's better guards than Mabry, but you're not going to get them for Mabry, if that makes sense.
Cunningham, I feel like would be fair. I would do
that. I'm keeping Mabry.
Yeah.
I think Mabry will get out of her funk. Hopefully. Fingers crossed for her. Okay. Worth dropping Shepard for Burton or Thornton matchup dependent? I don't know. I'm really high on Shepard. I really think she's consistent.
I think it does. I think matchups do matter, and the timeline of McBride matters. But and who was it over? Shepard over
Burton or Thornton, like a pickup, like matchup dependent.
And who do they play next?
I don't know. I really like Shepard. I think she's gonna be really consistent the rest of the season.
Minnesota plays the Sun, and then Sparks and Valks.
That's a good little run.
I mean...
That's a good run.
Yeah.
I think you keep Shepard. But that's... I mean, what do you think, though?
I'm leaning towards Shepard because I'm not sold on the Veronica train.
I know. We need to see some other games. Thornton.
Oh, yeah. And I already know Thornton's up and down.
I think it would only depend on if you're behind and you really need the points. But if you need Shepard like the very next day, then it's gonna like cancel each other out.
I need to see Veronica have 2 back-to-back games before I'm high on her.
Okay, we'll see. They're coming up.
We'll see. She didn't do anything against the Sparks the first round. So this is their second matchup. Let's see.
Yeah. Okay, should I drop or trade Malonga, or should I wait until after tomorrow and give her another game? It's early. I've been doing well with my matchup, and I'm about 100 points ahead. Okay, well.
That must be KP.
You don't have to.
Or no, not KP. What is his name?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think you need to worry if you're. I mean, Jesus Louise, you're really doing damage there. Malonga hasn't done enough for you to trade her. You would really have to sell her on the hopes that she does good the second half of the season.
I feel.
And do you really need someone?
I'm on the drop train.
Yeah, isn't there someone better out there?
Pay attention to her growth and catching her when she's growing.
You're crazy.
Because I mean, I don't see it working out fantasy wise anytime soon. That breakout is just not going to happen yet. She's not getting enough minutes to really grow. So I don't see it until the further end of the season.
I agree. Or an injury. Where Noelle is forced to play her because, man, she don't really want to play her at all. And you're 100 points ahead. I mean, experiment a little bit. I mean, you could just try and trade her, throw her out there, and see if anyone bites. Mm-hmm. But I think it's time to drop her. Okay, I know we have a question in the chat. What do you think of Laxa? I think I'm saying that wrong. Sorry. Can she repeat her performance? So we were talking about her a little bit, especially with, what's her name, Megan? Held?
Yeah.
Alexa Held. What'd she do last game? Do you have it? Sorry. I know it was solid.
Hold on.
I know she had a solid performance. I'm curious with Phoenix of who's going to be the most consistent. Because we were just talking about Held and her having an impact off the bench for Phoenix.
She had 23. She played 23 minutes, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 9 points.
That's pretty solid.
In my personal opinion, when watching them play yesterday, I felt like she looked like a stronger player than Held. So I would lean towards her being able to be close to those same fantasy numbers. Yeah.
And she didn't play the first game, right? No, she didn't play the first game. So
she was overseas earning MVP status, so.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, of like whatever league she's in or something.
Oh, then that's sold, yeah. I mean, she'd probably be a great waiver wire pickup. Maybe not someone that you like keep forever, but another person to add to your guys' arsenal because the waiver wires are so thin. It's crazy. All right, guys, that was all the questions from Discord. I didn't know if you guys had any in the chats. Obviously, this one's a little different because on Thursday, nothing much really happened. Thursday's more of our catch-all episode in case any injuries happen between Monday and now, so we can catch them before the weekend. Kind of give you some players that maybe broke out throughout the week. But yeah, and to answer your guys' questions, because I feel like everything's ongoing and like everything's changing all the time. So we wanted to come and give you guys that update. We always appreciate your guys' support. I know you guys like our lives because you guys get to ask questions and we get to interact this way. I know probably closer in the middle of seasons we'll be talking more about trade candidates, who to trade for. But just I feel like early in the season, just try and bet on someone. I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to get a trade off. Because once fantasy players get attached to their actual players that they have on their team, it's hard for some of them to get rid of. Mm-hmm. But usually week 1 and 2, you're like, I'm still feeling it out. So yeah. Anyways, if you guys have any questions, new to women's fantasy basketball, you can join our Discord. Link will be in the description. The community's great. They answer all the questions pretty quickly. So yeah, we thank you guys for your time. We appreciate your guys' support. If you haven't already, make sure to hit this like button. We do appreciate it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We will be back.